Hi, mathematicians. Thanks for joining back in for another lesson. Today it's 17.3, perpendicular lines. It's in your book on page 281. Right here. Here's our objective for today. Define and identify perpendicular lines. It's also a vocabulary word, perpendicular lines, or we're going to use this phrase, is perpendicular to. All right, let's get right into it and look at this example and find out a little bit about perpendicular lines. Identify perpendicular lines. It says the lines shown are perpendicular line segments. Now he's telling us perpendicular lines can be found on things around us. Okay, so let's see. A frame. That's like an old disc that you used to put in computers, like, oh boy, a really long time ago. I don't know what this is. Maybe a garden looks like, an envelope. What are perpendicular lines? Perpendicular lines are two lines that meet at right angles. Okay, so last lesson was right angles. We know that those are those corners. We remember that symbol because we practiced it for a whole lesson and we looked around. So we know perpendicular lines are two lines that meet at a right angle. So this line is perpendicular to this line because they meet at this right angle. These two lines are not perpendicular because they do not meet at a right angle. It's an angle, but it is not a right angle. Let's turn the page. Line AB and line CD meet at right angles. So line AB is perpendicular to line CD. Is line CD perpendicular to line EF? Okay, so is this line perpendicular to this line? Take a look at that. You got to look for any right angles. Nope, the lines do not meet at a right angle, so line CD is not perpendicular to line EF. How can you check whether the lines are perpendicular? Well, you can use folded paper. You can also use a ruler. So you can put folded paper against the two lines as shown. The lines meet at a right angle, so line OP is perpendicular to MN. You could do that at any time, anywhere. You can put a ruler against the two lines as shown, and the lines meet at a right angle, so line UV is perpendicular to line ST. Okay, guided learning. If you didn't grab your math notes, a pencil and eraser, go ahead and pause me and do so now. Number 1, tell whether the lines are perpendicular. Okay, so remember it's two lines that meet at a point that is a right angle, okay? So why don't you go ahead and write down number 1, number 2, and number 3. You don't need to do any drawing, so your numbers can be pretty close together. Just leave a space in between. Go ahead and pause me, and I'll share these answers with you once you've had a moment to check for right angles. Okay, so number 1 is yes. Those lines are perpendicular, so you just need to write yes. Number 2, there's no right angles, so nope. Number 3, this one says find perpendicular lines. Which line is perpendicular to line AB? So here's AB. AB goes all the way over. Which one is perpendicular? Remember, perpendicular means that the lines intersect, but when they intersect, they form a right angle. So check, any right angles here? Doesn't look like it. Any right angles here? None of those lines match up to the grid. Oh, but what about this one here? CD. CD makes right angles, so that's it. CD is perpendicular to line AB. Number 4, look at the pairs of perpendicular line segments in this box. How many pairs of perpendicular line segments can you find? There's going to be at least two because you're going to see them right up front, but then keep in mind that you've got a side here, you've got a side here, and you've got a side over here that you really can't even see, but you can definitely see those ones are highlighted for you. But look at all those corners on all those boxes. That's a lot. Number 5, this one says copy the perpendicular lines onto grid paper. I know that most people probably do not have grid paper at home. I surely don't either. So we're not actually going to do that. But we can go to the next one, and it says find pairs of perpendicular line segments on each object. That you can do. You can take a ruler or a piece of paper, fold it, make a right angle, and then check and see where are the right angles on these. I'm sorry, where are the perpendicular lines? You're going to need to find some right angles, though, too, for each object. Go ahead and pause me, and I'll share the answers with you. Okay, they're going to be in the corners here, so there's one there, 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 and there, and then there's going to be one here, and on the front cover here, and here, and here. Okay, well, I went right past that, but you can actually do this one around your house. Look around your house. Find items with perpendicular line segments and with no perpendicular line segments. Check the segments with folded paper or a ruler. At the very least, you will have folded paper from your desk when I cleaned it out for you. Then it says record the item and record the items and places in charts. So you can record what you found around your house with perpendicular line segments, where you found them, with no perpendicular line segments, and where you found them. That's a fun activity to do at home. It's really good practice for noticing those in real life. Okay, we're already to the let's practice. So the let's practice is just number 1 through 6 for you today. That's really fast. And then your workbook page is page 181 to 184. I will share answers with you. So now would be a good time to pause, and I will say, way to work hard, mathematicians. I'll see you next time. Okay, here are the answers for the let's practice. And here are the answers for the homework. I'll show the top 2 pages first, and then I'll show you the bottom 2 pages. All right, see you next time for the next lesson.